Hank Green knows a lot about the internet. His brother John Green is the author of the wildly successful books Looking for Alaska and The Fault in Our Stars. And together, the two brothers have become internet famous. They have a vlog, a podcast, and massive followings on Twitter. The brothers created the Project for Awesome, an annual charity drive to raise money for a variety of nonprofits, and Crash Course, a series of educational videos about history, literature, science, and sociology, among other topics. Maintaining all of those projects is enough responsibility for one person, but Hank Green has now become an author as well. So why did he do it?
I needed to work through a lot of stuff, and I couldn't do it in 700-word videos, and I couldn't do it in a public space because people would see it as whiny, me being like, oh, being famous is hard. So allowing that to happen through a narrator, I think works better. And I also felt like this was a format in which I could talk about things that I felt were important that didn't lend themselves to the other ways I had of expressing myself, which were very different and very immediate, like tweets and videos that I made the day before I uploaded them.
The result of this need to work through a lot of stuff is Green's debut novel, An Absolutely Remarkable Thing. The book tells the story of April May, an average girl suddenly thrust into internet fame and global politics. The book is a sci-fi adventure and also an urgent reflection on our culture online.
April's internet fame, in a lot of ways, and this book took me a long time to write, was a way through which I helped myself understand my situation. And that was weird because she isn't real. So it is strange that she gave me insight when I made her up, I guess. But honestly, writing the book changed a lot of my perspectives on, how forgiving I should be of myself and what mistakes I see myself making and what the things I should be most scared of are. And ultimately, I thought starting the book, probably in the back of my mind somewhere, the thing that I should be most scared of was losing my job and my audience and not having that stuff anymore. And now the thing that I'm most scared of is losing my health and my family. And that is so obvious that should be the thing that I should be most scared of. It has helped me realize watching April make her mistakes was in a lot of ways me making that mistake on paper so I didn't have to make it in real life.
The unforgiving nature of the internet is a focal point of the book. Green says the permanence of our opinions online has, in some ways, disallowed individuals to evolve and change their thinking.
When Snapchat first came out and it's like, oh, so you can send a message, but it only exists for 15 seconds, that sounds like it's being used for nudie pictures. And yeah, sure, maybe sometimes. But isn't this obvious that young people would want a way to communicate that didn't last forever? Because that's how we all communicated. And it's interesting to watch as these services are being created to allow for precisely that. Young people are on the lookout for those systems so that they can understand, even if not super in the front of their mind, that they're not done yet. Their opinion might be different in 6 months than it is. And that's something I worry about. We should all feel comfortable with that maybe I'm going to get more information and I'm not going to agree with my perspective. But in this world, I'm more worried about adults, frankly, where everything we've ever put is on the internet. People can find it, and then we feel like we have to defend perspectives that we once held but don't anymore. And if you feel that way, then you never will change your perspective because you are constantly defending yourself, which is the main way that we prevent ourselves from changing our perspective. As soon as we're on the defensive, that's when people's minds, they stop changing. I'm more worried about adults than I am about kids because I think kids are mutagenic and will figure it out. I'm very worried that we have all gotten, as adults, very caught in our perspectives and incapable of changing.
An Absolutely Remarkable Thing also highlights real concerns over our cable news and social media news cycle, a cycle that can often seem to value immediacy and debate over anything else.
It's not just them, it's all of us. We are, I think, not everyone, but if you are active on social media and you are an active politically minded person, I think that we all sort of decided that we would all be pundits and that we would all be professional arguers and that was a job that needed doing and we are all going to do it in our own little ways in our own little parts of the world. And part of that to me is maybe that's good. Maybe we should have strong opinions and maybe we should converse with each other to try and get to a place where we all agree on or like groups of people agree on, perspectives. But also maybe it's bad because most of the time when we do this is that right after something happens, when we have the least amount of information, when that is the worst time to be talking about something. And that is the only time that the news talks about it. When it's happening, a day later is, or even 2 weeks later, is when you actually know what happened.
Clearly, the internet has some problems, but Green also uses his novel and his online platform to stress the unlimited potential for good that the internet holds. So, in the end, does Green think the internet is more good than bad?
Such a big question. I think so. I'm much more ambivalent than I was, say, 5 years ago. But yeah, I think so. I think that it is a tool that we do not yet quite have all of the tools to handle correctly. And I think that we are finding the weaknesses in the system daily, and it's a little terrifying, and we're not sure if how it's going to shake out, which is why I'm being waffly here. But I think if you look at the connection, the understanding that it has brought, the information that it has made accessible, and I think that it provides a tremendous value. And I think that it provides a social value and an educational value and a cultural value. And I think that it has been a great force for cultural mutation. It's just that has made culture mutate very quickly, and that has been uncomfortable. And also now we have tools for manipulating that mutation using money, and marketing is getting a wind of it. And so are professional propaganda people. And that is scary, and we don't know how to deal with it. And we're going to have to figure it out. And I think that that is going to be all of our responsibilities together. And that's scary.
Green says the internet, this incredible tool, has provided us with endless examples of its positive social unity.
In the moments when we're open to it, it has allowed us to see into other communities and see the problems of other communities that we wouldn't be exposed to otherwise. That is the case both locally within one country, but also having a more global picture of human happiness and well-being and suffering. And that's really valuable. I also see a lot of community growth around educational content, around people trying to better themselves and learn and provide access to information that previously might have only been available if you had 20 grand to drop on a semester of school, which apparently is how much it costs now. I think that that is a tremendous value that is being provided. In the moments when I realized that the internet might be a bad thing, I kind of internally maybe overcorrected a little bit. And I've come back now to say, like, of course it's not all good. Just because something is bad doesn't mean that it's not also good. And it's such a big human thing, just like any collection of human beings, it's going to have bad things happening.
Hank Green's novel, An Absolutely Remarkable Thing, is available now. For a link to Green's website, YouTube channel, and more, visit our site, viewpointsonline.net. You can find us on Twitter @ViewpointsRadio. I'm Gary Price.
There's nothing like taking some time for a fresh cup of coffee or a creamy latte to slow down a hectic day. And now, if you're busy at home, you don't have to run out to a coffee house to get it. The new Keurig K-Latte single-serve coffee and latte maker allows coffee lovers to enjoy regular single-serve coffee or lattes in the comfort of their own home. Use any K-Cup pod to brew coffee or make delicious lattes. While most specialty coffee makers can be complicated, time-consuming, and messy, the Keurig K-Latte Coffee House Brewer is simple to use, allowing consumers to prepare coffee or lattes in minutes. Add a splash of delicious flavor with Torani for an authentic coffee house drink at home. Torani has been making gourmet-flavored syrups and sauces for beverages from high-quality ingredients like pure cane sugar and natural flavors since 1925. The Keurig K-Latte single-serve coffee and latte maker is available exclusively at Walmart and Walmart.com for only $99. Just brew, froth, and enjoy.
What are you going to do with your old car? You can try selling it, you could junk it, or you can donate it to Heritage for the Blind. Your car will be towed away for free, and your donation is tax deductible. Just call 1-800-835-1478. Heritage for the Blind accepts cars, vans, trucks, and boats. It doesn't matter if your vehicle runs or not. It will be towed away for free, and you'll be supporting those that need help. Heritage for the Blind is a nonprofit organization that helps the visually impaired live fuller lives. Call right now to donate your car, and as a special thank you, you'll receive a free 3-day vacation voucher to over 50 locations. Call Heritage for the Blind right now. Call 1-800-835-1478. Donating is easy, and your vehicle is towed away for free. Plus, you'll get a free vacation voucher for donating. Call now, 1-800-835-1478. That's 1-800-835-1478.
And that's Viewpoints for this week. Viewpoints is a production of Media Tracks Communications. You can follow us on Twitter and Facebook to learn about upcoming shows and find a library of past programs on iTunes. Plus, you'll always find podcasts of our segments and information about our guests at viewpointsonline.net. Join us again next week for your public affairs magazine, Viewpoints.